Alright guys, Pure Phoenix here, and this is the first video I'm posting on this new channel of mine. Today I am casting a game between ToRsPpook from Time of Rising and Tubby, who also is apparently in Time of Rising. And this match is on Antigua Shipyard. Again, we have Tubby being the blue Protoss spawning down the bottom, with the ToRsPpook being the red Terran spawning up the top. So this is my new channel, just trying to get started up at the moment, get a bit of a name happening on this channel, some new subscribers, and also carry some subscribers over from my last channel, the Colombo 999. So yeah, hopefully a lot of people can start to support me. Both of these guys are in the same clan, as I mentioned. However, they did meet on ladder, purely coincidental, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's happened to me before with a couple of guys in Team Pure. They both met each other, which was pretty cool. I guess it can happen. There's not that many people playing StarCraft, so the odds aren't that great. And yeah, nothing too unusual to comment on thus far in the game. And ToRsPpook putting down his barracks at 12, Tubby putting down his gateway at 12. Pretty standard thus far. Both players now, oh no, just Tubby beginning to scan. But apart from that, nothing else unusual. We haven't seen any fast gas, fast expansions. No fast expansion like Notorious did on that last video that I casted, for those who have seen the video on my other channel. So Tubby incorrectly guesses his opponent's location, sending a probe to the left position on the map, whereas ToRsPpook is still macroing up. He should look to get a orbital command soon, and Tubby has gotten his gas down. Meanwhile, no gas yet for ToRsPpook, so maybe just a heavy marine opening. And cybernetics core straight away down as soon as the gateway finished for Tubby at 16. Now a supply depot for ToRsPpook to complete that wall in, and now he looks to scout for himself, although Tubby has now located ToRsPpook and it's on. So sneaky pylon for Tubby, nothing, no real reasoning behind that except for it's pretty cool. He might have his opponent worried about some kind of proxy pylon just due to lack of pylons, but it's really just behind the black circles and squares. So now a zealot out for Tubby just to patrol the ramp and prevent any scouts, and ToRsPpook has actually got an expansion down and a marine on the way. So I was right with the marine pressure early due to the fact that he doesn't have a gas yet. He still doesn't have a gas, and ToRsPpook, I don't think, yeah, ToRsPpook hasn't actually found his opponent yet, although from here it is pretty obvious that his opponent is on the long diagonal position. So warp gate research now for Tubby, and he's got a zealot and a stalker out. The stalker might actually be able to snipe that. Yeah, the stalker does snipe that. Oh, the stalker doesn't quite, oh, he does, he's sorry. Changed my mind a couple of times there. The SCV does go down on the ramp, and he doesn't quite see. He saw a gateway, but he didn't see any other tech. So well played by Tubby. Good micro there to actually take out that intruding SCV. So now this zealot's just sitting at the bottom of the ramp, and ToRsPpook's looking to get a bunker to. Nice spread there by ToRsPpook, and he's looking to get a bunker to defend this early expansion, which is close to finishing. Orbital command is up as well, so he can drop some mules, and mules are being dropped. Double gas now, and what's this? 4 gateways down. 4 gateways for ToRsPpook, so he's going to have quite a large fireball by the looks of things. And another gateway goes down for the Protoss player Tubby. He now has 3 of those, and a base which is about halfway completed. ToRsPpook turns his expansion into a orbital command, and he's got the bunker ready to defend the base if need be. So I have to say, ToRsPpook's early macro advantage looks like it might favour him, although Tubby is catching up. If we have a look at the harvesters count, it's about equal. Tubby has an extra one, although the benefit of the mules for ToRsPpook, being the Terran player with both orbital commands, can be quite influential. So bunker full, 8 marines in total for ToRsPpook, and there's no real threat at this time. He can sit back, macro up, maybe transition into some kind of mech build. He got 3 3 tech labs and 1 reactor, so we're going to see a fair few marauders out on the field by the looks of things. Whereas we're just seeing 3 gateways for now for Tubby, so he's going to try to defend this expansion just off the 3 gateways, which could be economically great later in the game. And wow, he managed to sneak an SCV in there, Spook, so he's going to get a good sus at the base without Tubby going to be able to block it like he did last time. So he has a quick scout around, sees 3 gateways and a cybernetics core, but Tubby has quite a force up forward. He might be able to, or not now that that second bunker's finished. Now that that second bunker's finished, it doesn't look like Tubby would win any kind of combat, although he is going in. So 4 Marines need to get into that bunker, and they do. And the bunker loses health quite quickly. This could be good for Tubby. He takes out, he's focusing onto that second bunker, and he might manage to take it out. Good use of force fields with the sentries, although he's pulled some SCVs and they might soak a bit of damage up. And if he looks to repair that bunker, well, good force fields again, that bunker will go down, and Tubby looks in a decent position here. He might actually be able to wipe this out, although he chooses to back up because sentries alone is not going to be able to overcome that, especially when they don't have a high energy count. But he warps in 4 more stalkers, and he might want to go in and take that out before that bunker finishes again. So more Marines and Marauders being produced for Spook. He's now got his second base up to a pretty high level. If we have a look at the harvesters count, they are about equal. Tubby needs to get some gas down maybe on his second base and get some more production buildings. What's he got? A robotics facility coming along. So some Immortals and Colossus could do great against this biological army. He needs to block them from getting into that, although they do get into the bunker, and that is definitely a sign for Tubby to get out of there, because Marauders in a bunker, especially if they've got some kind of concussive shells upgrade, can be very effective, especially on Zealots. So he quickly tries to take down the first bunker, and he'll take down the SCV before he finishes the second bunker. And Tubby looks like he's in the lead here on this battle. Can he take down that? Yep, the SCV goes down, and Tubby could win this battle easily and put a lot of early pressure on in the game, although he has chosen to back out. Maybe another batch of units to come through. Yep, 3 more Zealots, and so I don't... Tubby can see that SCV. I don't know why he hasn't actually gotten rid of it yet. So now there's 4 gateways down for Tubby, as well as a robotic facility where he's warping in a Immortal, and another battle up here. Good use of force fields to prevent a spread, and Tubby might win this battle again. So the Terran player is not looking in too good shape at this stage. A lot of pressure coming on from Tubby, the Protoss player, and he actually manages more units warping in. He does manage to take down the biological unit, so the Spook will have to pull SCVs in order to resist the battle, resist the attack of Tubby, the Protoss player, and eventually all of the Protoss units are destroyed and Tubby pulls back. But Spook really needs to break out of this kind of hold that he's in. He needs to get rid of this proxy pylon to prevent such rapid attacks coming in, and with this Immortal, a lot of damage could be done on those Marauders. And he also needs to get rid of this SCV, which keeps scouting all of his tech. So he's seen the robotics, and he will see the 5th gateway. There's 5 gateways now for Tubby and a robotics facility, and this proxy pylon. So at this stage in the game, it looks like Tubby's in a much better position. He's leading the harvesters count by 10 now. I'm sure that he would have wiped out a lot of workers of Spooks when Spook had to pull SCVs. He does have that mule advantage still, but at this stage in the game, I would definitely say that Tubby is leading. So he's got this starport now, and he's getting some medivacs. That's an interesting choice. It will help him having the ability to heal those biological units, although if Tubby transitions into Colossus, which... Yep, he's transitioning into Colossus. If he transitions into Colossus, I don't think the medivacs are actually going to create that much of an impact. So it doesn't look like this bunker's going to finish, and no, it doesn't. So a large Protoss force moving in for Tubby. Force fields used well again. I love the use of force fields for Tubby. And Spook is going to lose a lot of his army here. Those Immortals doing an incredible amount of damage, as they do have those shields, which make the Marauders not do much damage at all. And okay, well held off by Spook again, pulling SCVs wisely. He's got to get those back to work. Yeah. So medivacs did actually have a bit of an impact there. They prevented that battle, and now an observer going in for Tubby. He might actually get a fair look around the base. Oh no, he scanned, and the observer goes down straight away. So Colossus, first Colossus is coming out now for Tubby, still off that 1 robotics. He needs to get that 5th gateway into a warp gate. There it is. and continue to produce units. I have to say, now would be a time for either player to get a third expansion, especially Spook, who's in a trailing position at this stage. More barracks going down, 2 more barracks going down, so he's going to stick with this biological build. I don't know if that's really his best option, considering he wouldn't know yet, but Tubby's Colossus, if they can get a thermal lance upgrade going, yep, thermal lance on the way, it's really not going to be looking too good for Spook. And he's also getting double forge for attack and defense upgrades. This is getting really bad for Spook, although he does have a third base which he is about to land, continuing the production of Marines and Marauders, and he's even going to move out with this slight force. Is he 4 medivacs, a few Marines and Marauders, and he'll take out this proxy pylon of Tubby's, which at least relieves some of the pressure. Tubby goes and puts down his third base himself, and it looks like at this stage both players are going to sit back, macro up, and transition into another level of tech. I'm interested to see what Spook, the Terran player, goes for. Is he perhaps going for Thors? He does have an armory, I believe, somewhere. Yeah, an armory going down, so we might see some Thors for Spook, which would be a decent counter for Colossus and Immortals. And he doesn't really have much of an option. Maybe some siege tanks in the mix to counter the range of the Colossus. And at this stage in the game, it looks like Tubby's focused too heavily on macroing up and expanding, and Spook's moving out with a decent force of biological units and 4-5 medivacs. And he might even... This expansion was cancelled for Tubby, so that's very, very wise of Spook to put on such pressure. He doesn't get to cancel that pylon either, so a fair few minerals being lost here for Tubby. He's not in the greatest position. He doesn't have anything to defend himself with apart from... Oh, he's got 3 Colossus, and I didn't see those 3 Colossus, so he's probably 3 Colossus, 8 Zealots, 5 Stalkers. He's probably able to hold this off, although the cancelling of the hatchery was very... The cancelling of the third base was very good for Spook. He's probably equal out of position at this stage in the game, although I don't think he wants to be engaging here because he's going to lose a large amount of units with these Colossus at the back, and he stims his way out of there and manages to get home. So what are we going to see be produced now? We're still seeing some Vikings, some Marines. Vikings is a good counter for those Colossus. I like his thinking there, and he needs to get this third base well and truly underway, as his first 2 are almost mined out. But Tubby, what is Tubby going to do from here? His first base is almost mined out. His second one, he's got a fair amount of minerals left, but he needs to be mining from a third base, and losing all that time there. He had about 100 seconds on that new Nexus, and then he had to cancel it. So Spook may have just gotten himself back into this game after the early pressure applied by Tubby. It looks like he is in about an equal position now. It's pretty hard to judge this one. So Tubby looks like he might move his army forward and perhaps create an engagement. The high ground there from Spook. He does have a very large amount of biological units, and the medivac's there providing support and healing. He needs those Vikings to go in and hit the Colossus from the side. Force fields well used again by Tubby, and those Vikings go down pretty quickly, and it looks like Tubby's going to well and truly win this battle. Colossus doing so much damage, and unfortunately the Colossus aren't able to do so much, although the Zealots provide good tank, and looks like both players are just going to lose all their armies, but no one's going to be in a position to actually win the game. So the Vikings are picking off those Colossus as they have nothing to... I don't know why that is in ground mode. There is nothing to stop the air unit. Stalker's now coming in, and Tubby can continue to put on an aggressive front here. More units being created instantly for Spook. He's got another biological batch coming through. 5 medivacs now and a couple of Vikings, and it doesn't look like Tubby's going to be able to advance here, especially when those Colossus are so weak. So third base for Spook now looking good. He is still behind on the Harvesters count, but there is nowhere really for these Harvesters to be for Tubby. And now getting a Templar Archives, so that is a good call. Getting some Templar Storms on those biological units will definitely change the way this game pans out, if it goes that late. And now another engagement. Tubby moving up, and the Colossus do go down. The second one's very weak. It's got something like, what, 5 health on it. So the shield's the only thing keeping it alive, and there it goes now. So it's an interesting game. It's a bit of a tug of war. Both players aren't in the position to move out or and finish the game, and they both have to sit back and manage their economy nicely. So Tubby's gotten this third base pretty much up and running due to the fact that his first is completely mined out. Spook's third is Spook's main is almost completely mined out as well. He doesn't need this many SCVs roaming around. He should try to transfer some of them to his third expansion, maybe even look at setting up a fourth up here, just to keep his economical lead in this game so far. And some Zealots and Archons being produced for Tubby. That is a good call. Zealot Archon, especially when the Zealots have charge, is very effective against Terran biological units, and also Psi Storm being researched. So area of effect is definitely the way to go against weaker biological units, so I like Tubby's thinking here. And he goes to engage Archon in first, as it does have an incredible amount of shield, and Colossus at the back trying to blast away, but it's really not enough, and Tubby has to back out of this encounter. He might actually lose a couple of Colossus here. Vikings chase it down, and one Colossus goes down, and looks like a second Colossus will go down as well. Focusing on those Vikings, although they're still going to chase, and that Colossus is going to go down for sure. There it goes. So not wise of Tubby to engage there. He is definitely losing the unit count right now. He has nothing but 6 Stalkers and 2 High Templars at the moment, so whooping in more Zealots, but I don't think it's going to be enough. If Spook could probably move forward and win this game right now. When these units arrive, I'm sure Spook will move in, try to finish this game right here, right now. Neither player... Okay, sorry, I stand corrected. Spook puts down his 4th base in a second, and he'll still be leading this game. It's already become an orbital command, and well played by Spook. He's going to have the economical advantage again, and is Tubby heading over to perhaps create a 4th base? It might be too late, I'd say. Definitely, if we have a look at the Harvesters tab, wow, I'm not sure how Tubby is managing to stay ahead on the Harvesters count so much with only the 2 bases. He's definitely oversaturated himself, and he now puts down the 4th base, but Spook looks to take out these rocks and head in to wipe out the most resourceful, rich of Tubby's bases, his 3rd base, and there's nothing at all to defend it. If you ever look at the unit count, there's a Colossus, an Archon, a few Zealots, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And the Spook engages, he's got the better surround. Ooh, splashes from Tubby, definitely destroy that army from Spook. And once again, we're going to see pretty much every unit dies. Spook does have some biological units left over, and they are upgraded nicely. Live with 2 attacks, so this Nexus is probably going to go down. I can't see, unless he can get a Storm away, I can't see anything changing at this stage. So Spook actually beams up some of his units and flies them off. That was well microed by him, and he's done enough at this stage. He's taken out, he might even see this base here. He has seen it, I believe. No, he's just healing them up. Okay, so he takes out this base here, and Tubby has to cancel. Tubby is mining off barely 1 base, and at this stage I can't see, he doesn't even have a great amount of money compared to Spook. I can't see how he's going to come back and win it. He doesn't have enough to produce anything from these 8 gateways, so I think Spook's going to take this one. He's got a much larger army, both air and ground biological units. So whereas at the start Tubby was putting on a lot of early pressure and it looked like Spook was behind, him grabbing that 3rd base early and expanding early at the start definitely paid off, due to the fact that he can run, what's this, 16 barracks and still produce units. He's definitely let his macro slip by getting to 3,000 minerals and producing so many barracks, but he's only let his macro slip because he's grabbed so many bases and expanded so quickly. So Spook now confident that he'll be able to take out Tubby's army. He's had a quick scan, seen where he's got a couple of Archons and a High Templar capable of doing 1 Storm. If he can take that out before he gets the Storm, then things are looking good. So Tubby's now desperately trying to grab a high yield base, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He puts down another base. Really not looking good for him. And a couple of Ghosts now for Spook. If he can EMP on those Archons, or maybe feed back the High Templars, then he would definitely win this final battle and take the match. So 4 bases for Spook, 2 of them mined out, but since they're all orbital commands, he is warping in or morphing in or calling in mules everywhere, and Spook manages to find the high yield base of Tubby. Tubby moved in with all he has left, 2 Colossus, 3 Archons, and Ghost should not have been going in alone. He didn't really get away the right amount of EMPs to affect those Archons. Nice spread of his army though, so the area effect doesn't do much from Spook, and Spook takes out the remainder of Tubby's army. And now he's going to move forward and surely take out the match. There are a few Zealots left over, but there's nothing they can do. They're upgraded level 2 attack. Marines and Marauders have level 3, and Tubby GG's and leaves the game. So great comeback by Spook. He was always looking to have the economical advantage with expanding earlier up here and expanding to a 4th here, something Tubby never managed to do. Tubby needed to expand earlier here, and also, wow, that kind of sums up Tubby's economy. Also the fact that he managed to delay this 3rd greatly, Spook. When it was almost finished, he came and took it out. That was well played there. Biological units didn't look like it was going to cut it at the start when Tubby was getting some Colossus, but at the end it definitely turned out to work in his favour. So well played by both players. Spook taking out this one. Hope you've enjoyed this cast, guys. There'll be more to follow. Cheers.